Yo, welcome to Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach, along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wally. We got a big show for today. We are doing an NBA mid-season review, and when we talking NBA, we gotta bring Shovel Racks in the building. We gotta bring my man Squirrel in the building, help us, school us to this NBA thing. Make sure you go on YouTube, subscribe to the page, hit that bell. Also, listen on Spotify. This will be up there very shortly. Also, make sure you leave a comment because we do respond on YouTube. The NBA, it's been a crazy year. It's been every team is dealing with injuries. A lot of surprises at the top. We did a NBA preseason show, preview show, and I don't think none of us had any. I think we was all wrong. So how everything then turned out. So I'm gonna start with you, Squirrel. We gonna go to. I guess we'll do the negativity first. Who been disappointing to you? What team has been the most disappointing so far for you, Squirrel?
So when it comes to disappointing, I got a two-part answer to this. Of course, it's my consensus favorites to be in the finals, the Lakers and the Nets. But I'll start with the Lakers as a Lakers fan. They are currently 27-31, ninth in the West, and they're just terrible. I don't know what else to say. You start off the season with 3 players that were named to the top 75.
Yep.
You got LeBron, you got AD, you got Russ.
Yep.
You were healthy. They picked up a lot of veterans. We knew they were an old team, but I did give them a chance to, as long as they got through the regular season, I thought in the playoffs they would be pretty good. But this team has just not meshed at all. AD has had one of the biggest regressions I've ever seen. In the bubble, we were considering him one of the top 5 players in the league. Arguing was he better than Giannis. At this point, I wouldn't even argue if he's top 10.
Yeah.
Currently, he's shooting 18% from 3.
Ooh.
And 36% outside of 10 feet. Wow. His mid-range is just disappeared. It's just, if he's not dunking it or landing up, he's not scoring. His free throws has got bad, and then he just can't stay on the court. And Russ is Russ. He's turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Can't shoot. He's shooting 34% outside of 5 feet.
Wow.
That's his bank shot, which used to be one of his best moves on his pull-up bank shot, he's hitting the top of the backboard, the side of the backboard. He's even getting benched now. He can't even play in the clutch.
They've been calling him Russell Westbrook.
The Lakers are just bad. They have the 4th highest payroll in the league. Next year they still got a lot of contracts. They still have Russ, still have LeBron, still have AD, so they don't have a lot of space to make moves. They tried to make trades. They had nothing to trade. They don't have a first-round draft pick to 2027.
Wow.
So nobody. They tried to give up THT, but nobody's knocking at the door for THT to get you something there to help your team.
Right.
Yeah. And then just defensively, they're 19th in defensive rating. So that's the problem. They don't move their feet. AD's not protecting the basket. They're not letting the white Jordan play, so they have no rim protection. So they're getting beat on the perimeter, straight layups. So the Lakers are just very disappointing. Ooh. And then we have the Nets as well. The Nets, everybody figured with that big 3, they'd be in the finals easily.
Yeah.
Kyrie has the vaccination issue, so he's playing away games now. KD's hurt. James is gone. So this team is totally different. They're currently 8th in the East, but prior to KD getting hurt, they were number 1. He's missed the last 17 games at 4-13. Oh. So in the East, when it's so cluttered, of course that'll drop you big time. So we have to see what this team looks like when he get back, because I do believe they have a good roster now. KD's back. Yep. I love the Seth Curry pickup. He's another great shooter. I like Drummond. He's a big man, which was what they were lacking. They had no big man. He can rebound. He can at least give an attempt against an Embiid or something like that. So I'm not saying he's stopping him, but he can at least try. So I think they got deeper. So, and if Kyrie's able to play, or if they remove vax status, I know that's up in the air now. If the vax mandate is going to stay, if he's able to play again, and KD gets healthy with those shooters around him, and if Ben just comes back and provides playmaking and his great stellar defense, I think they're a good team. At this point, he's probably like a 4th option maybe on that team. Yeah. So we don't need him to score. You don't need him to shoot free throws. And if you're gonna do the hack of Ben, give him in the penalty, and then you got to guard Kyrie and KD in the penalty. They're shooting free throws, so I just think it could be a good formula. We got to see it, but I would like to see what's going to happen once their team is fully healthy and everybody's together.
You make a good point about the Nets. I know the Nets in 8th, they had a lot of injuries, but I think with Ben Simmons will fit better. His style of play will fit a lot better with the Nets, because you got all scores on the wing and the court will be a little bit more open. So the Nets is up, and the Nets is up in the air, and then And once, like you said, if they remove the vaccine mandate, then all bets is off. It's just a whole different ball game. Chevo, who's been disappointed? What team you like? Man, I thought they was gonna be good, but they ain't about nothing.
So for me, it was between two teams. That was the Lakers and the Knicks. The Knicks are a dumpster fire, so I'll talk about the Lakers, especially since I predicted Lakers in 5. So to whom much is given, much is expected, and the Lakers had everything, and so we were expecting a lot. But unfortunately, I talked about before whether their strategy would be that they would rest the senior citizens, the older players, and prepare for the playoffs, or they go for the #1 seed, in which I thought they would get eliminated from the playoffs. But as my man Squirrel said, they just been stinking it up. He gave you all the stats. I didn't have all the stats. I just have here with an exclamation point, they stink. So that's what I have for the Lakers. They're still a dangerous team.
Yeah.
I think my new prediction is, besides in 5, I think if they are in the regular playoffs without having to play in a play-in, they can be dangerous. I think if they have to go through a play-in, I don't think they'll be in the finals anymore. But that's it. It's the Lakers.
The Lakers, it's just hard. Like, you want to say the Lakers stink and the Lakers suck, but they still have LeBron, and LeBron has been going crazy. So, like, if they could just find somebody else to come along with them and hoop with them, the Lakers could still be dangerous. Adi, who's been disappointing to you? What team you like, man, I thought they was going to be something and it ain't working out?
Yeah, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Chevo brought them up. We didn't have them missing the playoffs. None of us had them missing the playoffs. They was #4 seed last year. They blew a 23-point lead versus a Blazer team that had traded C.J. McCollum and my man Damian Lillard. He was out with the abdominal surgery. He was out. They blew that lead. Then in the very next game, they blew a double-digit lead to the 4th worst team in the NBA, OKC Thunder. And then in the very next game, they blew the biggest lead since 1987. They had a damn 28-point lead against the Nets, who didn't have Kyrie, Kevin Durant. They didn't have Ben Simmons or nothing like that. So the Knicks right now, they're 3.5 games back from that #10 seed in the Eastern Conference. And but the thing is, you got the Kemba Walker signing, the big Kemba Walker signing that did not pay off. He's having the worst season of his career right now.
Yeah.
And then you got Emmanuel Quickly. Well, he had a decent rookie year, but he has not elevated his game in the last 10 games of the regular season before the All-Star break. He shot 30% from the field.
Rose hurt.
Rose is hurt. Derrick Rose is hurt. He's supposed to come back right after the All-Star break. The New York Knicks are the 2nd worst team in the NBA in assists per game. They need that point guard play to step up. We'll see what D Rose does. But the New York Knicks, they got 20-something games, 23 games, something like that, to turn things around. We'll see what happens, but if they don't turn things around, they may have to start thinking about rebuilding or something.
Ooh, after 1 year, it was all good just a week ago.
They take it for granted.
It was all good last year. They made it to the playoffs, but then I just think what happened to the Knicks. I think I did pick him in the playoffs, but I saw this coming a little bit because I saw what happened to one of my disappointing teams. I saw the playoffs when they played the Atlanta Hawks, and I saw they didn't have enough scoring, and Julius Randle was a player who got one hand. and one hand, and he can't be your go-to #1 guy if you're trying to win. He's a good player, don't get me wrong, no disrespect, but I just think the Knicks, as far as a talent level, they don't match up with, like, talent-wise with the Bulls, Heat, even the Cavaliers, teams like that. I just think their talent level is just not there. Y'all brought up good points about the Lakers too, but like I said, I'm not giving up on the Lakers, the Nets. And my disappointing team is the Hawks. I look at the Hawks 28-30 in 10th place. After going to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, they had a lot of injuries. They traded Cam Reddish. I wonder what happened there.
Yeah.
Something going on in the locker room, because that's a young talent right there.
Defender and shooter.
Yeah, that caught me off guard a little bit. So it may be something going on with Cam Reddish that we don't know about, but, like, you just trade a young prospect who can. I think the game he had like a couple 30-point games and they just traded. I'm like, why is y'all? But we'll see. I think the Hawks is another team. They starting to pick it up. They starting to look better, but I expected them to be one of the top teams in the East, and they have disappointed.
Atlanta, I will say, Bogey Bogdanovic, his numbers has went down.
Yeah.
He's been hurt. His points per game is low. His field goal percentage, his 3-point percentage has dropped significantly this season. And then the Atlanta Hawks, their defense fell off big time. They're 3rd worst in the NBA in causing turnovers, 4th worst in defensive rating. Okay,
Wow.
so that's something they need to pick up. You know, last year they did have a big turnaround when they fired the coach, and they had a really good second half of the season.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Dude, are they gonna fire the coach again? Hey, all right, Shovel. All right, let's go to some positive teams. Let's talk about some teams that's really been balling. What team that has caught you off guard? Like, man, I didn't realize they was gonna be that good.
So I'm sure one of you all has the Bulls, but I don't have to pick them because I told you already that was going to happen. So, for my two teams that I was looking at, which is the pleasant surprise of the second, coming into the second half, is between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Memphis Grizzlies.
Okay.
Now, I could go Cleveland, they're the 4th seed in the East, but I think it's more impressive that Memphis has risen to the 3rd seed in the West. Now, I've been chanting Ja Morant for the past 2 or 3 years, and it's not just because my son is a fan of him. It is also because he's really stepped up this season. We're looking at him, he's averaging highs in points, 26.8 points a game. He's 6.9 assists, 5.8 rebounds. I've been telling y'all he's the next up. This is his first year being voted in as an all-star starter, not playing in the Rising Stars this year. And then I remember Adi specifically said that Valanciunas was a bad move.
Yeah.
In actuality, I brought up the fact that Steven Adams might be a great defender and brought the toughness to the team, and we even saw that when Ja had a little scrape in the game and Steven Adams picked the guy up and carried him to half court. So, yeah, my team is the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's more impressive to see them rise to the 3rd seed in the West because the West is always difficult, and to see them up there, so it's impressive, and I'm impressed by them.
Any votes for Ja Morant for MVP? Is he top 5 MVP candidate or no? That's too much.
I would
Top
say
10. Top 10.
I would say he's probably top 5, maybe point guardish right now. I don't know about players, but Ja's really on the come up, and so yeah, I promised my son that we're gonna drive down and go to a game this year and see it. So hopefully we can make that happen as well. So
Desmond Bain might get Most Improved Player of the Year, and then you got Dylan Brooks. He's hurt. So
He came back.
Yeah, so he'll be back in about 4 weeks. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ja Morant is looking like 2000 MVP 10 Derrick Rose right now. He is absolutely
He has a little AI Derrick Rose to him.
Yeah. Squirrel. What team you was like, man, I didn't know they was gonna be that good. That caught you off guard, like, man, they got some hoopers.
But I agree with Kevo with Memphis, 3rd in the West.
Yeah.
8 games back, 41-19, and Ja's missed 14 games. I
That's
think
crazy.
great.
That's crazy.
But since Kevo focused on Memphis, I'll go to Cleveland, which is just. I definitely didn't see this coming. I definitely had Cleveland as one of those basement teams, you know, fighting for the lottery, #1 pick type teams, and they are currently 35-23.
Yep.
They're 2.5 game back in the East, which is nothing in the East. That's a couple games, you know, a couple injuries, and you're right there.
Yep.
They're actually playing winning ball against 500 teams. They're 16-14 against 500 teams,
Wow,
which
that's
is amazing.
crazy. That's good.
And Evan Mobley. Oh my God.
He's gonna be
I believe he's the rookie of the year as well. He's averaging 15 points, 8
gonna be a
rebounds,
star.
and almost 2 blocks.
Yeah.
But I think just what he is able to do on defense, he's been like interchangeable. Some nights he's guarding a bigger player, some nights he's guarding guards.
Yeah.
They're starting 3 7-footers with him marketing and
Jared Allen.
So, and they just, I think his flexibility allows them to keep that line because he's some nights guarding point guards. I've seen him on 2 guards, I've seen him on 4s. He's a rim protector, and then on offense, he can handle the ball. He has a decent outside shot. He's finishing around the basket. I mean, this guy's been amazing.
He's gonna be big time.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a
he's
problem.
gonna be one of the best players. And when they lost Rubio, I actually was like, okay, maybe they're gonna come back down, but
They lost Sexton too.
right, and Sexton as well. But they picked up Rondo. He's provided some veteran leadership. And Garland, oh my God, he's in the All-Star game.
And to add to that, one of the things that's impressive is some of the teams that's like in the top seed don't even have. They actually have 9 players averaging double figures right now. Because when I was looking to research, I looked into that too. Cleveland.
So they spreading the ball. That lets you know you can't focus on one person. They spreading the ball around. But I mean, they're good defensively. They're playing ball offensively. And
Karis LeVert, the big trade for Karis LeVert.
They just picked him up recently,
Yeah,
so that
that
could
was
be a
huge.
good pickup. He's like a nice little 6-man that you can just come in and get your buckets. So
Yep.
I think Cleveland is something to watch. They can definitely put a scare into somebody in the East. One of the big 5 in the East, which I consider to be the Heat, the Bulls, Philly, Miami, and the Bucks. I think those are like, the big 5. So I think Cleveland is right there in that mix, and I think they definitely can give somebody a good series. I'm not guaranteeing they get out the first round, but I think when you're that young, you can get the experience, doesn't do anything to make them better.
Absolutely. In Cleveland, like you brought said, they're so big.
Yeah.
They so big. They can kill you on the boards. And Mobley's gonna be Mobley's gonna he's gonna be special.
Yeah, number 1 amongst rookies in blocks and rebounds. Number 3 in points per game.
Yeah.
And the thing about Cleveland, since they got swept in the 2018 playoffs, the finals, they haven't finished higher than a 13 seed in the East.
Wow.
That's how crazy it is.
And they jump.
That's
Straight
how
to the
crazy.
top from last year being 0 and just jump.
Well,
Let's give some Bernie Bickerstaff, right?
Yeah,
Let's give some kudos to the black coach.
Yeah, Jimmy Bickerstaff,
Absolutely. Adi, what team is any? They both pretty much said the Grizzlies and Cavs. You got anybody different? Anybody surprise you, or you feeling like they feeling?
Oh no, you know what? The Golden State Warriors. You know, Golden State. They surprised me. Even though they lost 4 out of their last 5 games, they still got the second best record in the NBA. They the only team in the league that beat the Phoenix Suns twice this year, okay? And Klay Thompson, he's still trying to knock off the rust from missing 2.5 seasons, okay? Draymond Green, he missed about 25 games this year because of the back injury. And then you got the number 2 overall pick in the 2020 draft, James Wiseman. He hasn't played this year because of that meniscus surgery, but him and Draymond Green are supposed to return shortly after the All-Star break, so they're going to get even better, but they've been holding it down. So, but in the meantime, shockingly, Andrew Wiggins is an All-Star starter. Okay?
Hold up.
That's ballot stuffing.
All right,
I'm not saying he's not an all-star, but a starter.
He's definitely been playing good, but an all-star starter.
Starter is far.
Devin Booker's come off the bench. They'll let you know how good that boy is.
And let you know, in California, more people are stuffing those ballots.
Hey, shout out to the Warriors fans. They definitely put the votes in for him.
Wiggins, you know what? He's having the best field goal and 3-point percentage shooting of his career. And then you also got the boy from Michigan, 3rd-year pro from Michigan, Jordan Poole.
He be killing. He be hooping. He's a hooper.
Yeah, he's been elevated.
Unconscious with his shot. Questionable shot selection. But when he's hot,
he's on fire. Yeah.
And that dude leads the league in free throw percentage. So your man got a nice touch on him. And then you got the number 7, the rookie, the number 7 overall pick, Kuminga. This guy in the last 8 games, he's been averaging 15 points, 60% from the field, and he's going to dazzle you with his dunks. So
and he played great
defense, dunks, and he makes you wonder, like, why the hell is he not in the dunk contest?
Right.
Yeah, if you see what he be doing out there on the court with tip dunks and all kind of stuff, man, that dude, next year put him in the dunk contest. The Golden State Warriors, they got the next man up mentality. They love to share the ball. Number 2 in the NBA in assists per game. Golden State Warriors holding down with all those injuries. Number 2 in the NBA. Golden State.
Golden State definitely been showing up, and they definitely well coached. Shout out to Steve Kerr. I'm gonna go with a team. I don't know if they're gonna make the playoffs, but if they get it, they're gonna lose in the first round. But I'm gonna show some love to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
They are a very exciting team to watch. And let me tell you something. Anthony Edwards is a problem.
Yes.
That dude can score. That dude is a machine. That dude got hops. He'll dunk you. He can go off for 40, 50 every night. I know LaMelo Ball gets most of the credit in that rookie class, but Anthony Edwards is just as good as LaMelo Ball. That dude is a beast. And Karl Anthony Towns showing up this year. He's back. Karl Anthony Towns, he made the All-Star team, so I like Minnesota, what they doing. They in the 7th seed in the West right now. I don't know if they're gonna be able to hold on and keep that 7th seed, but if they make the playoffs, that'd be amazing. And I like watching them play though. They score a lot, they run up and down the court, they get fast breaks, they dunk on everybody. They suck on defense.
very much so.
They terrible on defense, but they very exciting. I like what they're doing, and they're 31-28. So they have a shot. They have a shot.
They're number 7 seed, right?
Yeah, they have a shot. I can't remember since Jimmy Butler was there, we ain't been over 500. So
right.
And they all the way at the All-Star break. So over 50 games. So I like what Minnesota's doing. So I'm gonna give them a little love.
I do want to say, Shebo did say that the Celtics would be the number 4 seed. That was his prediction, and they were pretty hot.
Shebo on fire right now. Shebo's on fire right now.
Doing their thing.
Now, we talked about the disappointing teams, the winning teams. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. This is on tape. This is where we always gonna go back with each other. Like, you said this, you said that, and you said that. So, let me start with you, Adi, on this one. What's the top 2 teams in the West, and who is going to the NBA Finals?
Okay, well, number 2, I got the Utah Jazz, okay?
Ooh,
You know what? Donovan Mitchell, he missed 8 games in January, and Utah only won 1 of those games. But he returned in February, they won 5 games, only 1 loss to the Los Angeles Lakers, okay? Now, we know it was a big blow. Joe Ingles got hurt. He tore his ACL, but then they traded him to the Blazers, okay? But then they got back the guy, Alexander Walker from the Pelicans. He averaged 12 points a game over there in New Orleans. Now, the Utah Jazz, they got loads of firepower. They got the reigning 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson.
Yep.
They also got Bogdanovic. The man is averaging 17 points a game, number 2 on the team in scoring, and also they got Mike Conley, okay?
Yeah.
And Utah Jazz, they're number 1 in the NBA in offensive rating, okay? And then they got the 3-time defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, and Hassan Whiteside is a certified shot blocker, okay? So I got them at number 2. Number 1, the Phoenix Suns, all right? The Phoenix won.
Before you go into the Phoenix Suns, none of us picked the Phoenix Suns at all in the preseason show.
I agree.
I didn't know. I would say I didn't pick them to go to the Western Conference Finals. I do admit that, but I did have them as the number 2 seed in the West.
Okay.
And but they are number 1 right now, and they won 18 out of their last 19 games. Amazing. The number 2 in the NBA in assists to turnover ratio, number 2 in field goal percentage. Now, they won 2 out of 2 games against the Utah Jazz, all right, this season.
Okay.
But Donovan Mitchell did not play in any of those games, all right? Now, I'm sticking with the Utah Jazz.
Oh!
Coming out the West. That's what I said on the preview show, okay?
Stay with it.
I'll stay with my Utah Jazz coming out the West because the Jazz, 4th seed right now, right? But like I said, Donovan Mitchell missed those games. Utah they sucked without him. He's going to be, after the All-Star break, I was looking at the Jazz getting really, really hot, and they're going to go to the NBA Finals.
Ooh, I like it. Stick with your pick. Squirrel, are you sticking with the Lakers?
No, I am not sticking with the Lakers. Thanks, Anthony Davis. But currently, I'll have Phoenix. They're number 1 in the West. They started out 1-3, and since they've been 47-7.
Holy crap!
And the biggest thing that I love about the Phoenix Suns, they're number 1 in defense in the NBA, which is amazing. We never seen them as a defensive team, so that means they're dedicating themselves. Mikal Bridges, oh my God, he's a defensive player of the year candidate.
Yeah.
Aiden's playing for a contract that's very key.
They got Torrey Craig, right?
Yeah, they got Torrey Craig.
They just got him back. Yeah.
Aiden did not get his long term, so you know he's gonna play hard. Chris Paul, he just has the heart of a lion. He's always playing hard. Even Devin Booker is giving some effort on the defensive end, which I very, very respect a lot. They're 25-6 versus 500 teams.
Damn.
So they even beat the winning teams. I mean, Phoenix is just right now. They're just playing above anything I thought, and then with the experience of losing last year, going to the finals, and then the hunger that comes with losing in the finals.
Yeah.
I just think they have a lot of motivation, and they're playing the regular season like it matters, which a lot of teams don't always do. And I think that just builds, that's good for that team.
Yep.
I mean, even Booker missed some games with the hamstring injury, and they still didn't miss a beat. So it's just like they even bought what's the guy? Biyombo. Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah.
They even had him looking like he's a basketball player. Chris Paul is just a magician.
He just keeps sticking around.
Making people look good. So I do think Phoenix will be there in the Western Conference Finals. And even though I'm not a big fan of this team, I do think the Warriors will be there. Point being, the Warriors are 2nd in the West right now. Even with Draymond, who I think is their most important player. He's missed 25 games. He's the anchor of the defense. Makes them look so much better. Clay's only played 16 games. He's back, so he'll be at least rounding into some type of shape and getting better. They still haven't got Wiseman. And then they just got a lot of young players. They're young players that move their feet, try hard. Gary Payton, the second, he doesn't like to be called junior. He's amazing on defense. Kuminga plays defense. Poole can shoot. Damian Lee can shoot. I mean, they just got a lot of people that get off. And then, of course, Steph. You have to guard Steph a certain way. Gets a lot of guys open shots. They have that motion offense. Nobody's, pounding the ball into the floor. It's a lot of ball movement, so it's hard to guard them. I do think they have a chance to be in the Western Conference Finals. And then I'm going to pick Phoenix. I just think Phoenix is very thirsty. I think with their leader, I just think teams follow their leader. Chris Paul, his time's dwindling. He gonna have a lot of chance for a championship. I don't think he's gonna let this team slack at all. I think he'll keep them motivated. I think Devin Booker, he has that, Mamba mentality. He plays hard. I think he had a taste last year. He had some key mistakes in the finals last year. turnovers down the stretch and things of that nature. So I believe he wants to atone. I just think Phoenix will get back to the finals this year.
Yeah, Phoenix is looking real strong right now. So Chevo, Lakers in 5 still?
So I'll start off with the Jazz. I already told you all these wonderful things about the Jazz. They did get rid of Joe Ingles and everything. And I'm out on the Jazz. They're not impressing me right now. I don't see them going. Initially I had the Jazz and the Lakers, so back to your Lakers tape. I once said if they are in the play-in, they won't make the finals. If they are 6 seed and above, it's a possibility that I would still be afraid of them. However, the 2 teams that I have is the Suns, and I'm here to put respect on their name because I said that they would not go back to the finals because I thought they would have a finals hangover similar to like what the Heat had, but they've smacked me upside the head and told me that that's not what's happening. Squirrel told you some great things about them, and just looking at them, I mean, they brought in, as he mentioned, Biyombo, they brought in JaVale McGee, they're still waiting on Sarge, and like they have 7 players averaging double figures, and I just didn't think they would be here, so I'm sold on them. And then the team that I have that's going to replace the Lakers is going to be, as Squirrel said again, the Golden State Warriors. Steph came back last year. He had an okay season. This year, I thought he was having an even better season to start off, despite, as Squirrel mentioned earlier, his shooting percentage not being great. But they have a lot of young players. So we haven't even seen Wiseman come back. Clay's come back for a great shooting and defensive punch. And then you have players like the dude, Toscano Anderson, Gary Payton II, Poole, Kuminga, all playing hard, moving their feet, and as we all mentioned, they're rotating the balls around. And I think from them being in a play-in to a number 2 seed is a huge turnaround. So that's my prediction is that I got a Suns Golden State Finals, and I just got to show respect to the Suns. I got the Suns coming out the West.
Yeah, I'm with y'all. Like, listen, I picked the Lakers too to come out the West, but I'm watching Phoenix. I mean, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, that team is looking like a well-oiled machine. I like Utah. I don't think Utah in the playoffs has enough scoring or enough players who can get their own shot playing against a team like Phoenix. Devin Booker can get you 40, 50 in big-time playoff games. I mean, let's not talk about Game 6 in the first round against the Lakers when he went absolutely berserk and put up 47 points. Yeah. This is what Devin... And Mitchell, don't get me wrong.
Mitchell can go crazy.
Yeah, Mitchell can go crazy too, so I'm not saying that. But I just see it's a lot of... defensively, it's a lot of holes on Utah's team. I mean, that showed up last year against the Clippers in the final. I mean, second round of the playoffs when they got put out by the Clippers when you saw Kawhi and Paul George just attacking them and taking Rudy Gobert out the game because Rudy Gobert can't score on offense and just putting a Terrence Mann on him and then...
That was a bad matchup.
Yeah.
Bad match because they threw that small ball.
I think that's the problem with the Jazz.
Yeah.
If you can go small against the Jazz and make Rudy Gobert come out the paint, that's when they struggle.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen with Phoenix because they got 8. They got to go put 8.
I don't think it'll happen with Phoenix, but they do struggle. When a team can go small and Rudy Gobert is not able just to anchor that paint, because when he's in the game and he's in the paint, they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA.
Especially if they got Sarge, but Phoenix can go small. If they got 3 centers, they got Mikal Bridges. They got what's the
Cameron Johnson.
Cameron Johnson. They got a lot of players that they can go small with.
Yeah. The Phoenix
I can't think his name. They still got him who used to play for the Heat
with the
Jay Crowder.
Jay Crowder. Like they can go small if they need to.
He started power forward for
them. That's what I'm saying. They could go small if they need to.
So the Phoenix is and like you say, Chris Paul might be due. It might be time. Like he's had an illustrious career, the point guard. It might be time for Chris Paul. I mean, he's putting his work in, and now this team is perfect for him. It's got the perfect players to go with every skill asset that he has. So, but I think it's gonna be Suns and Warriors too. I know Steph is shooting bad right now, but I got a feeling after the All-Star break, that's gonna pick back up. I feel like a shooter he gonna find his way and he gonna be fine. I feel like Klay Thompson is gonna find his way. I feel like once Draymond get back, and I think it'll be an epic. I think it's gonna be a great Western Conference Finals. It's gonna be must-see TV. But I'm going with Phoenix. Because Phoenix play defense. They got a big man in DeAndre Ayton who could dominate the paint. They got wings who could defend. They got multiple shooters. So I just think Phoenix, they have it all.
All right, so going back to the preview show, now the Nuggets general manager said we're clearing Jamal Murray and my man Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
They're going to clear him
Oh, my Porter's coming back? I think
that was
season.
They said they're gonna clear him in a not too distant future. That's what he quoted saying last week. Okay, and so there's a possibility. You can't rule out that they're not gonna go. I know you said Nuggets was going to the Western Conference Finals.
I said
in the
that.
preview show.
Yeah.
So we gotta see if they come back or not. We don't know.
So I'm just going
I
off
thought they
who's
shut
healthy.
Porter
right now.
down for the season.
Huh?
Then they said
I thought they shut him down.
You know what?
I looked.
I was reading right before the show, like a week ago. The general manager Connolly, he was like, he's gonna leave it up to them to come back.
Yeah.
He said they're gonna clear him in the not too distant future. So he's being a little bit vague or whatever.
What does this sound like? Does this not
They can
sound
both
like?
come back.
That's a different story. Now they
Verge
got
and Porter can come back.
That's the
The
difference.
Nuggets are.
That's the different game.
in the mix.
Does this sound like the infamous Bulls, D-Rose? We cleared them, Doc cleared them. I mean, what does that mean?
Trying to put pressure on them.
They trying to put pressure on them to play.
Come back.
That's what it. Yeah.
And if they trying to do that, then that's gonna be an epic film. Okay, you got to make sure they're ready to go.
And back injuries are something you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes.
Squirrel, what's your top 2 teams in the East, and who's going to the finals?
Well, the East, more of the same. I mean, I know we got teams that are doing great. The Bulls are doing great. 76ers and Embiid, I believe, will be the MVP. Cavaliers are doing good. You know, the Nets can be dangerous when they get healthy. But right now, my 2 teams are Milwaukee. Milwaukee's 5th in the East right now. They're 2.5 games back. But when the big 3 plays, which is Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis, they are 25-7.
Woo!
You know, they missed a lot of games with those 3 all playing together, but when they do play together, they are dominant. And I've noticed this year, they get up for big games. When they play teams that are supposed to be the best or the top, they get up for those games. Now, they do have a lot of letdowns against teams that are not good. Mm-hmm. But when they get up against those teams like the Nets and Philly and the Bulls and the Lakers and, you know, anybody that's supposed to be a championship contender, they do play very well. Giannis, I hate to say this, I hope Body's not watching, but Giannis might be the best player in the league. Matter of fact, Giannis is the best player. I'll say that. Giannis is the best player in the NBA because he plays both sides very hard and plays both sides very well.
He's taking from LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's in his 19th season. We can't keep just hoping he's the man.
He's over Kevin Durant now?
Yes, I think because of his defense.
Okay,
Okay. I mean, you can't stop Giannis offensively, and then on defense, he's a problem. He's blocking shots. He's changing shots. He's, you know, he hustles. He's chased down. He just has the effort. So I just give Giannis, and he's still young. I mean, he's still getting better, and his jump shot has improved immensely.
Shooting over 70% from the free throw line.
Yeah, his jump shot has improved immensely. Yeah. He's shooting threes when the games matter. He's not scared to take the mid-range. He's shooting fadeaways. So Giannis is playing amazing. So I think they'll be in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then my other team, they're just gonna grind it out. Miami.
I knew you was
Miami is currently first in the East. Jimmy has missed 19 games.
That's crazy.
Bam has missed 25 games.
True. Yeah.
Hero and Lowry has missed 13 games apiece.
Wow.
Those are their best 4 players, but they just don't miss a beat. It's that Miami culture. They're going to play hard. Spoelstra's a great coach, and he's going to coach effort. Everybody's going to be on tune on offense. Everybody's going to be on the string on defense. They're just going to play you hard. You're going to have to beat those guys. Every night you're going to have to go out and give your best effort to beat those guys.
Yeah.
I just think if they're healthy, they can beat every team that they come up against. They're tied at number 4 in defensive rating, which I think is a big thing. Again, you know, just the guidance of Jimmy and Lowry and those vets. Bam's just a problem every night. They got shooters. They got Duncan Robinson. They got the Gabe Vincent who's shooting from all over the place. Heroes probably number 1 6th man of the year right now. So Miami's just playing very well, and for them to be number 1, given what they missed from their star players, I just think that if they're healthy, that they're just going to be a very tough out. So I have them going to the Eastern Conference Finals. But to be back to the board, we're going to go. Milwaukee's going to go to the finals. I just think Giannis right now is just, his mentality is just, he's not going to let up. Giannis is going to play hard, and then they just got this big 3. And then they just got pieces, you know. Lopez is out right now. He's able to come back. You know,
they picked up Serge Ibaka.
They picked up Serge Ibaka, so those are 2 good interior shot blockers, but they also can step out, shoot the jump shot. Yeah. You know, they have Grayson Allen, who's another shooter. You know, they just got pieces.
Dirty playing ass.
He's definitely dirty, but hey, we got to get him. He can score.
You got Matthews.
Yeah. They got Matthews back. I mean, they got shooters surrounding Giannis. Giannis can shoot. They just play great defense, and I just think
don't forget about the hit man.
Yeah, Bobby Portis
Bobby Portis has reinvented himself.
Yes.
With these crazy eyes, he can hit threes, and I mean, their energy's just their energy is so amazing. I just think that Milwaukee will be back in the finals again this year.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee. And Giannis, look, as big as Kevin Durant fan is, I'm looking like, I don't know, Durant. I don't know if you got this way anymore. I don't know. I got to be real about
I
it.
think the defense will be separate.
Chevo, what's the top 2 teams in the East?
Top 2 teams that I have in the East, I would love to say the Bulls, and I know everybody wants me to say Philadelphia, but no, I actually have Milwaukee, and I still have Brooklyn. Milwaukee, as y'all mentioned, they picked up Serge Ibaka from the Clippers. I think that was huge for them. That adds a little bit to their front line. Yep. As Squirrel mentioned, they got their big 3. They're playing pretty well. They convinced me last year after I wasn't sold on them. They went on and won the championship. And then I got Brooklyn. I like the fact that Brooklyn, what they gained with Ben Simmons when they got facilitation, I think they got better on defense. The only thing that causes question for me is the scoring. However, they did get a nice shooter in Steph Curry. They got another big man in Andre Drummond. They still got a scorer in Cam Thomas. They got Patty Mills. And that's what got me with the scoring.
If he come back.
Yeah, Joe Harris.
And then I also, you mentioned it earlier with Kyrie, and I even saw an interview with Adam Silver where he talked about New York possibly rolling back the mandates because they now have Eric Adams as the mayor as opposed to the previous mayor that they had when they had the mandates, and that'll be huge, which will let Kyrie be able to play home and away games because honestly, I was concerned with going into the playoffs and the finals. If that doesn't happen, would they try to do neutral site games to try to even it out?
They can play on the road and they are 8th seed, so that means 4 out of the 7.
So are they losing on purpose? So Kyrie can play Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on?
I didn't even think about that conspiracy. So y'all just brought that to life. I wasn't even on that conspiracy.
Game 7, he'll be there.
He'll be there. Yeah.
And I almost picked the Bucks, but I scratched it out at the last minute, and I got to go ahead and I got to give it. I got Milwaukee. I'm sorry, not Milwaukee. I got Brooklyn versus the Suns in the finals. So I'm keeping Brooklyn and Milwaukee, which was my original pick for the East. The West got all shook up, so I got a Brooklyn Suns.
Okay, I like it.
Bro, you got Brooklyn go to the final.
I like it.
Okay.
The only thing that scares me is that I feel like that against, we were talking about this earlier, against Milwaukee, I felt like they needed to outscore because they played good defense against Milwaukee last year in the finals, and I feel that we thought Harden would be that third punch, big 3 scorer. With now Ben, I don't expect for him to be the scorer, so everybody else has got to pick up the scoring, and Ben's got to pick up the defense to keep him in the defense. So, and that's what I thought about, and that's why I literally had. First I had Milwaukee Suns, and I said I'm gonna stick with the Brooklyn, and I'm gonna scratch Milwaukee, and I'm gonna go ahead and go Brooklyn Suns.
I like it. Adi, top 2 teams in the East.
Okay, well, I'm going to bump Philly up to number 2. All right, I get Philly as the number 2 team in the East. They didn't really lose Ben Simmons because they already lost. He was already gone. Okay.
That's facts.
And you turn Andre Drummond into Paul Millsap, that's a drop-off.
Definitely, big time drop-off.
Okay, they shouldn't care much about losing those 2 first-round picks, still very late first-round picks. They shouldn't really care about that. Now, Philly did get to keep Tyrese Maxey, his 17 points, 39% from downtown shooting.
Huge.
That was huge, okay. Tobias Harris, he doesn't have to worry about being the number 2 option on the team. Okay, with his 18 points a game. He can be the 3rd option, like that's his fit in the league, okay?
I agree.
And then the Philadelphia 76ers, they turned Steph Curry into James Harden, okay? So that's huge. I feel like Philly came up in that. They did lose some depth, but they came up in that situation. You know, it was looking crazy for Philly. Now, number 1, Milwaukee Bucks, all right? I feel like Philly and the Bucks are going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Ooh, yeah.
Philly Bucks, okay? Joel Embiid, he just had a few days ago, 42 points, 14 rebounds against the Bucks.
Yes.
Chris Middleton.
I was going crazy.
Yeah. He went crazy, okay?
I was going crazy on the group chat, but go ahead.
And Chris Middleton, he missed the game time 3-point shot attempt at the end of the game. That would have tied it up, sent it to overtime, but he missed it and everything. He missed a couple 3 points at the end of the game. But so now James Harden in the 2020 playoffs, they was down 2-1 in the series against the Lakers. They was down 2-1. And then James Harden, in the next 2 games, he shot 3 for 14 from downtown. And he had 11 turnovers as Houston lost in 5 games, okay? And then last year, against the Milwaukee Bucks, he played 3 games, 5 for 26 from downtown, and he had 12 turnovers.
On one leg.
Well, you know what? He's not playing now because of hamstring, right?
Yeah.
His hamstring, the same thing that happened to him last year, and he's still doing the hamstring thing. I cannot put my money on Harden. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe in him. I'm going with Milwaukee Bucks going back to the NBA Finals.
Ooh, all right. So listen, no love for the Chicago Bulls, huh? The Bulls tied with the Miami Heat.
Second round, Bulls. Second round.
I'll tell you about the Bulls. You know what? They are number 1 in what? Field goal percentage, number 2 or 3-point percentage, but they are the second worst team in offensive rebounds per game.
Yeah.
That's why AK signed Tristan Thompson to help out with them rebounds. But I just don't believe in that. They're not big enough to me, so I can't pick them.
I got mad love for the Bulls. It's nothing would please me more than to see them go further. But this is the first year this together, and they've been playing well. It would be if they go to the Eastern Conference Finals, that would be almost as big a turnaround as like I said, like the Golden State Warriors going from play-in to number 2 seed. That's just that'd be incredible. So
nobody expected the Bulls to be the number 1 seed except
no, I didn't expect
number 1 seed except I got to give a shout out to J-Dub, certified custom print. He said they was gonna be a top, and I got to give a shout out to my barber. He's the only person that said they was gonna be top of the East. Now, with that being said, I'm with you, Adi. It's Milwaukee and Philly. Now, if the vaccine mandate is lifted, then that's a whole different conversation. So I'm predicting as if the vaccine mandate is the same.
Right.
James Harden and Joel Embiid is finna be a damn problem for the NBA. I'm telling you, that combination, pick and roll, and Harden can go back to being the point guard.
You trust James after the stats he just gave?
Listen, James Harden has his issues. I'm not saying James Harden is perfect, but if you watched James Harden last year when all 3 of them were playing, when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving was playing, James Harden was the best point guard in the NBA by far.
And top MVP candidate.
Yeah, yes. Let's be real.
He's number 2 in the league right now in assists per game.
So let's be real about the situation. He gets to go back. What happened in Brooklyn is they had so many injuries. Kyrie Irving not playing. He had to pretty much go back to playing like he was in Houston, and he didn't want to do that. So now he's with Philly. He's got a dominant big man. He can go back to just being the point guard. You got Tobias Harris. You got Tyrese Maxey. You got a lot of people. I like the fit with Harden and Embiid. I think that's going to be a deadly combination.
Nah, it's funny you say that because the rumor is that he wanted to play ISO ball and the rest of the team didn't want to. That was one of the rumors, and then that's why they kind of fell out. And then the other one was that Kyrie was cooking them at practice. So we don't know if that's true. But
I mean, Kyrie cooks everybody. Okay, that's what Kyrie do. He's a cooker. Okay, Kyrie can be. Yeah, he's a killer. I wouldn't be surprised if he was cooking James Harden.
Right.
James Harden ain't no elite defender.
Harden, look, my thing is this: if the Brooklyn Nets do not win the NBA Finals, it's because of coronavirus, okay?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the only reason. When James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Durant, before the show, I picked the Nets to win the chip. You picked the Nets, right, to win the chip?
I did.
I said
You did too. Yeah, you picked the
Lakers.
Lakers. So 3 out of 4 of us picked the Nets to win the chip. They was going to win the chip if it wasn't for the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Because the man, he don't want to get the vaccine, man. He don't want to get that shit. But you know what? It's cool. I mean, you got your own choice, whatever. So that's messed up. But the thing is, if it wasn't for that, the Brooklyn Nets would have won the NBA championship.
Yeah.
And that's why James Harden left, because the man can't play any fucking
He should have
ball.
just got a fake vaccine card like AB.
Well, AB had the wrong friend. Somebody ratted him out and stuff. So, all right, real quick, Squirrel. Who's winning? You got the Suns against the Bucks. Who's winning?
Milwaukee in 7. Giannis improved jump shot. I know Phoenix is very thirsty for a win, but I just think Giannis' improved jump shot will be the difference maker. And I think Milwaukee's a little deeper and bigger shot blocking. So I'm going to go Milwaukee in 7.
All right, and I forgot to tell you, Bucks is going to the finals, by the way. Chevo.
Okay, you got the Bucks. Okay.
I got the Bucks now. I got the Bucks. Unless the mandate is lifted, and I might go with Brooklyn.
Okay.
But who you got? Who's winning? You got the
I actually got the Suns winning the West. They sold
Suns
me.
against Brooklyn. Who's winning the
I
finals?
got the Suns. They sold me. The way they've been playing, I put respect on their name. I got the Suns coming out the West.
And they winning. And who's winning the finals? They're winning it all. Chris Paul get that first
I think he
ring.
get his first ring.
All right,
I would love it.
I like it. Adi, you got Utah and Milwaukee.
Okay.
Utah, is Donovan Mitchell getting the ring? Rudy Gobert?
He ain't that drunk.
Are they gonna win their first finals in NBA history? No. I got Milwaukee Bucks winning this, going back to back.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got the Bucks winning over the Suns.
Okay.
I got them winning over the Suns because of Giannis and Drew Holiday. I seen the way he stuck Chris Paul in the finals last year. Tied him out. So I like the Bucks. But I think it's going to be more competitive. I think it's going to be an epic finals.
I got 7 games.
Yeah, I got a 7, but I got the Bucks. And Giannis is going to get his second ring, and he's going to take over. It's going to be no question after this finals who's the best player in the NBA.
And Bobby, don't say a word to me.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want Biden to watch this because he's going to be like, I told y'all. Hey, y'all been watching Spectator Sporting. I'm Zach Roach along with my partner, Mr. Adi Wiley. This has been the NBA season preview. I want to give a special thanks to my man Shovel Rax, my man Squirrel. In the meantime, in between time, make sure you go and watch on YouTube. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell on Spectator Sporting. Also listen on Spotify. In the meantime, in between time, we out.
Peace.